Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, to update you on João Pedro, Jadon Sancho, but also Nico Williams, Benjamin Šeško and more to say. Let's jump into it together. And so guys, always many updates, many stories on the market, and today we have to start with one of the topics of the summer transfer window, and it's gonna be Jadon Sancho. Because the decision made by Manchester United, from what I understand, on the Jadon Sancho situation is at the moment to wait. Not to accept loan proposals, but to give priority to a permanent transfer for him, because the idea, the very clear idea, is to make money, make profit and sell Jadon Sancho in this summer transfer window. He returned from Chelsea, as Chelsea were not able to reach an agreement with the player on his salary, and now Manchester United are looking for a solution for Jadon Sancho on a permanent transfer. So conversations are ongoing, conversations are underway to find a solution on a permanent transfer. Also because they don't want to keep the player at the club. The idea is to part ways on a permanent transfer, but there are already some clubs interested in a loan. For example, Napoli. Napoli have genuine interest in Jadon Sancho, but they are not willing to cover his whole current salary. So what's the topic here? Or Manchester United find a club to sign Jadon Sancho on a permanent transfer, taking care of his big salary. Otherwise, Napoli, for example, will wait a bit to see if there are doors open later in the window for Jadon Sancho. What I can tell you also today is that my understanding is that between Napoli and Jack Grealish, despite the English rumors in the recent days, there is nothing concrete, nothing serious. Napoli are focused on different targets, and so Sancho is a possibility, but for Napoli only on loan, with Man United covering part of his salary, or permanent transfer, but with the player reducing his salary, and it's not going to be easy. And then it's important to mention also for Napoli that this situation of Jadon Sancho is something that they will wait, but not forever. So let's see what's going to be the timing for this story. Jack Grealish is not a target at the moment for Napoli. He's been offered to Napoli, but it's not a concrete discussion or negotiation. So let's see what happens there, and also let's see what happens with another important saga of the summer, the one of Benjamin Šeško. I'm receiving many questions in the last hours, because there are reports from Germany saying that Benjamin Šeško and Arsenal have reached an agreement on personal terms. My understanding, guys, is at the moment, this afternoon, then we will see later, this afternoon there is still no complete agreement between all parties involved in this story. Benjamin Šeško, his agent, Arsenal, Red Bull Leipzig, there is still nothing done in terms of transfer fee, in terms of personal terms. Talking, yes. Discussing, yes. Trying to reach agreements, but not something done as of now. So remember that Šeško contacts are ongoing. Viktor Gyökeres remains an option for Arsenal, especially if the price will be the one expected when they made this pact, Gyökeres agents and Sporting, for Viktor Gyökeres. So let's see what kind of final pricing there will be for the striker, but for sure, what I can confirm to you is that at the moment for Šeško there is still nothing done. Then conversations will continue. Let's see what happens with Šeško. Let's see what happens with Gyökeres. But as of today, I'm not able to confirm an agreement Šeško-Arsenal yet. So let's see and follow what happens with the situation in the next days. Let's see what happens also with another player, a very good striker, and is João Pedro. Because I told you in May, exclusive story, that João Pedro is going to leave, is expected to leave Brighton in this summer transfer window. Then obviously negotiations have to take place. Brighton have the final say, but João Pedro is open to leaving Brighton in this summer transfer window. Let's see what happens with the clubs, because Newcastle already wanted to sign João Pedro before he joined Brighton when he was at Watford. The deal was done verbally, then it collapsed for different reasons. Now he remains a player in the list of the recruitment team at Newcastle. So they want João Pedro at Newcastle. They made contact with Brighton, as was reported in England in the recent days by the Telegraph, but still no agreement club to club. So Newcastle are working on the João Pedro deal, but still don't have an agreement. What I can tell you today is that I can confirm João Pedro is on Chelsea list. João Pedro is a player appreciated by Chelsea. João Pedro is a player highly rated by Chelsea. They see him as an interesting option because can cover different positions, big potential, knows the league, can be perfect addition to the squad. And so I would keep João Pedro as an option for Chelsea this summer. Then at the moment there are still no negotiations, nothing advanced yet, but for sure João Pedro is a name on Chelsea list for the offensive package. Is something they're considering. Then we know for Ekitike, Chelsea made a call, it was almost 3 weeks ago now, but Eintracht asked 100 million euros, too much for Chelsea, and so João Pedro is now one of the options they are considering. Let's see what's gonna happen with Newcastle working on this deal, club to club, with Brighton. And then today, guys, we have to talk again about Barcelona, because it's official, their first signing of the summer, Joan Garcia, coming from Espanyol, 25 million euros, 6-year contract, new goalkeeper for Barca has arrived, Joan Garcia from Espanyol, an excellent addition for Hansi Flick, but now it's time for the Nico Williams operation. The operation is ongoing, with Barcelona, the President Laporta, the Director Deco, all people at the club, working to try and understand how they can make it happen, this for Nico Williams. Because they have the green light from the player. Nico Williams wants to go to Barcelona. Nico Williams, via his agent, obviously, told all the clubs interested, including Bayern, for example. I told you that Bayern want to make an effort for Nico, but also more clubs, like Arsenal, are interested and more, that the clear intention, the very clear intention, is for the player to go to Barcelona. He wants to go to Barca. So now it's very clear. Nico is only waiting for Barcelona. Barcelona are working on this deal, trying to activate this Nico option, working hard on this Nico option to make it happen as soon as possible. And so work in progress for Barcelona. Now, Deco is not going to Bilbao, according to my information. My information is that Deco is going to Ibiza, not to Bilbao. Who is in Ibiza now? What I heard is that is there also Nico Williams, is there Hansi Flick, Deco will be there. I'm not saying that the negotiation will take place in Ibiza, because sometimes during the summer transfer window we have this kind of stories, but I don't think that's the real point of the story. Now the real important part is the technical and financial part of the story. If Barca can make it happen or not, how, when, how to make it happen with Athletic. Don't forget Athletic Bilbao in this story, because Athletic have a new contract proposal for Nico Williams already, in case he decides to stay at the club, and also they are still waiting to understand what happens with Barcelona, because okay, Barca want a player, and the player wants to go to Barca, but the disclose is 58 million euros to be paid in one solution, and now we have to say if technically and with financial fair play, Barca can make it happen, or if they can find a solution. So let's follow step by step this story, but what we can confirm once again is that Nico is stopping all the conversations with the other clubs and is giving priority to Barcelona. Now depends on Barca. For example, I can tell you that Bayern are waiting. Bayern are waiting because they had 2 meetings, they want Nico Williams, they see Nico Williams as the perfect target, so Bayern wait, or Nico goes to Barca, and in that case it's over and they will move on a different target. Otherwise, if in a few days, probably, they will wait and then we will move on different target. Otherwise, at the moment, Bayern are still thinking of Nico, because if Barca can't do it, Bayern would like to try again. But for Nico, in this moment, there is only Barca in his mind. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories from João Pedro, Newcastle or Chelsea, but also Jadon Sancho, Nico Williams, Benjamin Šeško. Let me know your opinion, guys. Here in comments, remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon with Fabrizio.